Gerhard Berger's BMW. Berger's a regular competitor in the International Touring Car Championship. And for this round, the blue ribbon, he's joined by a number of Grand Prix drivers. To talk to them and the other drivers in the paddock, Mike Raymond.
There's an old saying that the Nordica Volvo team is about the best thing to happen to Sweden since ABBA had their last $1 million hit. Johnny Cecotto, of course, who's here today competing for the Nordica team, has a very strong reputation and hopefully at the end of 24 hours, maybe a win here at Spa. A lot of hard work ahead though.
I would like it very much, but I think it's very hard to finish this race.
How different is this race to other races, apart obviously for the distance? What can go wrong with cars that normally don't go wrong at 500k races?
Usually these cars are very reliable for 500 kilometers, but unless some small problems like we had in the past. But for 24 hours you can have many more of these problems, and this is what you don't know. I mean, if you're lucky and nothing goes wrong with the car, it's possible to win.
Yeah, that takes a lot of luck. I've won 2 times, so obviously I had a lot of luck there. But I think this year the Rovers are feeling very strong, and we've done good times on normal race rubber and full tank, and we are very optimistic for that race, I think. So it looks all very good for us, I think.
Yeah, I think the important thing on this race is to make a good setup for 24 hours. Qualifying is only for show, but we have a good race setup, and I think if we don't have problems, the other must work hard to beat us.
Mauro, 24-hour races are nothing new to you, but perhaps in these type of cars it's a little different.
Yes, because this is my first race in this kind of cars, in ETC, saloon cars, and I think it will be very interesting for me to take part to this very important race, because I think it's the most important race of the season, this one in Belgium.
So you couldn't really think of any better place to be or anything better you'd like to do than be at Spa in the 24-hour this weekend?
No, we've got to win.
Ford has a very strong presence here at the Spa 24-hour Classic through Motorcraft and, of course, Eggenberger Racing. And they have a very strong presence because the Ford Sierras have been doing very well in the ETC this year. Thanks a lot to this young man, Steve Soper. 24 hours to go. What's the ingredient of preparation to luck in this race, you believe?
I think there's a lot of preparation and a little bit of luck. I really don't know the outcome, got no idea. Just try and keep on the same lap and keep everybody in sight, and you know, hope that God's on our side.
How tough do you expect the first few laps of this race to be with all the jousting and the...
Yeah, I think everybody wants to lead because of television and everything else and ego, so I should think the first 5-6 laps will be like a 10-lap sprint. You know, the 24-hour bit will go out the window.
Well, what it is, I'm sure, and Armin is starting our car, for example, and Tom will be starting his one. I think they're going to run very, very quick at the beginning, both of them, and probably try and break the opposition early in the piece, or at least put a fairly big cushion on so they can ease up if the tyres start giving problems, all right. But we don't anticipate any tyre problem at all, and I think that's rather good as well.
I think our car is really having another youth, if you like, because this year is much better than how we thought. We are waiting for the M635, which will be the car to beat, but with this car is going really well, and we won the last race with Ravaglia, and Ravaglia with Gerhard Berger, he won Misano a couple of months ago, and we're looking really strong here. We start in the first row, and we can keep a very good race rhythm, so we're really looking strong.
So do you believe that you can keep the Rovers fairly honest in the opening laps of the race?
I think the old Tom will have a hard time with us, I'm sure.
Well, after the 2 qualifying sessions that we've had over the last couple of days, this is how the grid lines up prior to the 24 hours. In pole position, it's Walkinshaw with the Rover. His 5th consecutive pole position at Spa. Pirro starts the BMW instead of Berger. Then it's Hana, Brandberg with the first of the Volvos, Cecotto, Dodone with the first of the Fords on his own home ground, Grice with the first Holden, Harold Grosser's Ford, Questa's BMW, Soper's Ford, and the Cudini Snowbeck Mercedes from Class 2, which has really gone superbly to get himself that high on the grid. Big surprise here, he's so much faster than the 325 BMW that they normally duel with. The pace car pulls off. We've got Rover, BMW and Volvo all vying for the lead, and Pirot there getting perilously close to the Rover, and they touch there. But Walkinshaw it is who gets into the lead. Pirot second, Volvo third, Rover fourth. Everybody lining up behind that leading group for what looks like being a very tight battle for the first half dozen laps or so till the race settles down. Hana flashes his lights there at Walkinshaw to tell him he's into second place. And we go in car now to Granberg's Volvo, and he's trying to get that third place and can't do it yet from Pirot's BMW. The Holdens going well, but everybody driving to a pre-arranged plan behind the Rovers, lap times being perhaps the thing that they fixed to do. The two Rovers already, however, have pulled out a very good lead, 50 yards or so. Pirot next up, and then that's Grice in fourth place with the Holden. Ford's led by Dodone, he was the faster of the two in practice. And then the first of the Volvos, Harold Gross, of course, well up as usual, and then Peter Brock. So the Rovers setting out to pull out that lead, to dominate the race, to get the pace up at the front there, that might give them a chance, if they do run into minor troubles, to have that extra little bit in hand, and everybody else trying to drive a sensible race. And Grice there, being the hair of the Holden team, and really going out to see what that car can do. It's led races before, can it do it here? Two Rovers, first and second. Grice holding on to third, and Dodone coming up there on the inside of the BMW to snatch that place, so Pirot forced back now to fifth place, and Brock not all that far behind. Inside Granberg's car again, you can see the trunking to keep the driver cool, and that's going to be necessary because it's very, very hot here, and he's lost a bit of ground, but he's still driving to these pre-arranged lap times, hopefully therefore ensuring reliability throughout what is a very long race, of course. Hana tucked in still behind Walkinshaw as they come past the pits. We look back to see whether that Ford has got past. Yes, he has. The Ford up through and past Dodone into third place. Then in fourth place, the Holden of Alan Grice. In fifth place, Pirot's BMW. And tactics playing their part. BMW don't reckon that the race really starts until the last 6 hours. Volvo driving to a set time. And Ford, certainly as far as the Belgians concerned, determined to get up there on his own home ground, and who can blame him? The Holdens, well, certainly Grice is flying, but so is Brock too. The Dodone with the turbo Ford, the Merca engine, surprisingly powerful and hoping to be reliable in this race. But the two Rovers still nose and tail, and setting out now to prove their point. If they can get something in hand, it could make all the difference. Hana almost looking for a way through there. Both he and Walkinshaw have won this race twice. Walkinshaw certainly noted for being fairly hard on a car and on tyres as well. But as he slides a little bit more than the car behind him, Hana just using more road. And Brock here increasing his pace. A lot of opposite lock there, and he's in front of the Volvo. The Holden obviously determined to get up there. And the two leaders once more. And a big, big effort by Hana. He's pressing the leader. Dodone and Sopin with the two Fords. Grice with the Holden, and side by side here of Granberg trying to outbrake the Holden of Peter Brock, and Brock sliding, locking up there onto the rough, losing a couple of places. Pirot is past him, but I think he's rejoined before the second of the BMWs. And oh dear, we've got a Golf here that has blown up in the biggest possible way, and that's oil smoke, and we've got an oil flag out as the leaders come through. Here is Walkinshaw tiptoeing through. There's no cement down yet, into the second part of the corner. And as he comes up towards us now, Hana was out of shape as he went into that, and it looks as if he's lost a lot of ground.